speaking with Gareth Lofthouse. Gareth, thanks for joining us today. And would you introduce yourself and tell us what Longitude is and does?
Sure. Hi, Chuck. I'm one of the co-founders at Longitude. We're a specialist agency in thought leadership. So basically that means helping brands to be thought leaders in their space. So they're recognized as experts and visionaries on whatever issue they're trying to associate their brands with, and providing the kind of research and content that helps them create that perception.
Okay, let's dive a little deeper into definitions, because I always find this interesting as I chat with people. Everyone has a slightly different take on what thought leadership is. So first of all, how do you define thought leadership?
I think it is about, are you perceived by your clients and by your audience as the absolute leader in your space, the source of the most innovative thinking and ideas? Are you the expert that they turn to help solve their problems? So that's being a thought leader. Thought leadership is then how, as a brand, you scale that process up, how you, I guess through marketing and communications, make yourself that absolute thought leader in the market.
Getting back to what you referred to in one of the initial definitions is this notion of what thought leadership actually accomplishes for you. And on your website, and I will read it here so I don't get it wrong, you make a fairly, what I think a fairly bold statement in terms of a kind of a claim for thought leadership, that you create thought leadership that enhances reputation, relationships, and revenue. How do you see thought leadership impacting and presumably building those?
Let's start with reputation. Classic sort of play there, and why thought leadership can be very effective in that space. It's the brand that wants to make a splash on an issue, typically through media, lots of PR coverage. Now, data research can be an incredibly powerful tool to be able to do that. I'll give you a couple of examples. We've worked in the UK with Barclays, creating for them an index that compared 10 countries in terms of how sophisticated their citizens were of each of those countries in using digital technology. We built the research, we built the model for that, and out of it you get a ranking that says this country is really fantastic and their citizens are really empowered and enabled in the use of digital technology. These countries are lagging behind. That is a very powerful sort of story for journalists. It got them an awful lot of coverage, it got them awful lot of broadcast media. That's what we mean when we talk about using thought leadership to really project reputation into the market. So that's a reputation play.
So that's the classic earned media.
Earned
PR,
media.
PR play, really.
That's right.
Let's move on to that second R, relationships. How does thought leadership help develop or strengthen relationships?
A lot of this comes back to that original point. If you want to have a conversation with someone, and you and all your competitors have all got sales reps going out, for example, or partners going out, trying to hook that conversation with the CEO, with the CFO, absolutely inundated, why are they going to stop, pause, and actually give you that opening and take a meeting with you? Thought leadership, if you do it well, if you come up with a story and you bring that insight to the table, it removes that obstacle. It helps you get through the door with something that says it's relevant and valuable to you. I'm not just going to be pitching at you. I have something that is genuinely of interest. And if you get that right, people will take meetings. So what we find we've done this with many of the big four clients that we have. We work with clients like EY and KPMG, and they would incentivize and measure their partners in terms of how many meetings they would get, for example, with CFOs, off the back of this content. And it's just about having a smart way to, once you've got the insight, making sure that you're going out to targeted prospects, targeted clients. You're setting up things like seminars, it might be workshops, it might be the opportunity to meet and discuss a problem, but with data to back it. That's relationship building driven by insight.
So you're really using the data as a door opener for conversations.
Absolutely.
And the third R is revenue. How do you see it building revenue, and are your clients able to measure that?
Ultimately, I think marketing and any type of communication, thought leadership is in that mix. its value is it driving business outcomes? Are we driving revenue? Are we driving profit? And I think that's a real measure. Marketing often doesn't get down to that level. We're often looking at sort of slightly vanity metrics around clicks and so on. But for me, does it really drive outcomes in terms of real business? Now,
we've just back to how many CFO meetings did you have? How many
could be CFO meetings, but yeah, I think that's part of the mix. But it's also is the content and insight, is your thought leadership bringing business to you? So you've got that kind of outbound kind of process where you're trying to get meetings off the back of this kind of content. But you're also, if you do it well, and you see some of the brands are getting very good at this, it's for sort of demand generation. So you make a splash with a thought leadership story, it gets noticed perhaps through media or social media. And then people are interested, and then they're engaging with that content. These days, there's a lot of technology. I guess some people find this is slightly spooky, but it's the world as it is, that you can see when prospects and customers and future customers are engaging with that content. And that all feeds into that good old sales funnel. And it means that the organization can target its time more effectively to the sort of marketing qualified lead, if you like, people who have engaged with the content, they're showing an interest. The other thing that you should find if you're using thought leadership effectively, you'll get more inbound inquiries. So they'll be asking to download the report, then they'll be interested in taking a conversation around that insight, and then they're back into the sales funnel. So you can measure the impact of this content at every single stage of the funnel. We advise clients to have thought leadership at the top end of the funnel and right through to the end, to be honest. By the time you're going down that funnel, you're also wanting more content about relevant solutions, and I guess you're into the product set. But don't forget the power of insight to drive every stage of the conversation through the sales journey.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the education today and for sharing what you're up to and your
Pleasure.
perspectives. This has been Chuck Kent for Lead the Conversation here at Longitude. I'll go with you. Here at Longitude with Gareth Lofthouse.